Hello and welcome to Computer Science 20S. This is Lesson 9, Variables, Input, Output, and Broadcast. So lots of different stuff to throw at you today. After this lesson, you will know what a variable and a broadcast statement is. You'll understand some uses for variables and broadcasts, how to modify programs and rename them. So the backups are always available, and I touched a bit on that in the previous lesson. And you'll be able to add to your program to make it a little bit better. So let's get started. From math class, I'd like to ask you what is the x in this equation? And hopefully you came up with the answer. Well, it's 4, and it's only 4. But the x can stand for many values in math, and x is called a variable because its value can vary. And this is a key concept in computer science. You're going to use it practically on a daily basis from now on. In fact, you've already been using it, you just haven't realized it. So variables are used to keep track of things in a program or game, things like time, score, cost, value, names, you name it. If it has to be kept track of, it's stored in a variable. So to create a variable, I'd like you to open the program from the last lesson, base game 1, not your hand-in assignment, the one that you called base game 1. You should have 2 files, one called base game 1, one called, I think it's catch the ball version 1. If you don't have 2, you're going to have to go back to the previous lesson and make sure that you have those 2 files. So under the variable block, which is over here on the left, select make a variable and call it time and make it for all sprites. And you should see the variable time being created, and there's a little checkbox beside it, and if you check it, then time will appear on your stage. I'm just going to do that in my version of Scratch here. So I'm going to go make a variable, call it time, and with a check mark there, you'll see that it appears up here. If you uncheck it, then it disappears. So some variables you might want to see, others you might not. Okay, so I'd like you to add this to the Scratch sprite of base game 1. I'll make this a bit bigger here for you so you can see it. So we're going to repeat until touching sprite 2. We're going to wait a second, and then we're going to change the time by 1. So this is an entirely new script here, and it's going to keep running until the 2 sprites touch one another. We wait a second, and after that 1 second, we change the time by 1, and then we go back and wait another second, and keep going like that. So it keeps a running clock on how long it takes you to catch the ball using the variable time. Okay, here's another thing. You can also use an input statement. This gets information from the user. The Scratch command for this is the ask command. So you can ask a question like, what's your name, and wait. And then whenever you type in with where it asks you what's your name, it's stored as the answer. The ask part asks the question in the box, and whenever it's typed, is stored as the variable answer. This can then be changed to another variable. So you would say, what's your name? And then you would set name to answer. And then you can use this variable name in the script, like good job, Billy, or whatever the person's name happens to be. Something like this. You can print the variable using the say. So you would say, what's your name, and wait, set the name to answer, and then say something like, you would join hello and the name together, and you would say it. Or you could use it in another statement like this. How many stars to catch? Set the number of stars to answer, and you're going to repeat until number of stars equals stars caught. Let's say you have a game where you've got a dozen stars falling from the sky, and you have to catch them, so you're going to keep going until the number of stars is equal to the actual number of stars actually caught. The last thing I want to show you in this lesson is the broadcast. This allows a message to go out to all sprites that something like all the balls are caught and that you are to do something new. In generic computer science terms, I would refer to this as a flag. A flag is a message. When the flag is up, then that means that the condition is true, and when the flag is down, then that means that the condition is not true. Broadcast is a slightly bit different here, but very similar idea. So you're simply broadcasting that something has happened and that now something else should happen. So it'd be something like when you've got all the balls caught, you would broadcast all balls caught, and then you would have another bit of script that says when I receive all balls caught, then go do something else, maybe play a sound or put something on the screen. You might want to use the stop script as well. Once all the balls are caught, you might want to stop some scripts for that sprite, or maybe all sprites as well. I want to show you something else here too that wasn't in the title of this lesson, but it's kind of a neat thing. The X and Y positions of the mouse are recorded as a variable, mouse X and mouse Y. They can be used to move a sprite, setting its X position to the mouse X. So try this right here, set X to mouse X, and you'll see that you can move your paddle back and forth. And of course you could set the Y to mouse Y as well. Okay, so your next assignment is to take your assignment, not the base game that we've sort of been playing with here, but close the base game and open up Chase the Ball version 1. And I want you to immediately save it as, save as Chase the Ball V2. So you should have your version 1, and then you should have your brand new version 2 that's identical to version 1, but now you're going to make changes to it. And that way, any changes that you make to version 2 do not affect version 1. You can always go back in time and have a sort of time capsule copy of version 1. This is a very valuable skill to learn. Please use it on a regular basis. Always save new versions immediately. So I'd like you to add in making a timer to record how long it takes to catch the ball, create a second variable that records the number of balls left to catch, ask the user how many balls they want to catch, have the balls start in random positions, wait 2 seconds before the next ball appears, show the number of balls left to catch, have a big celebration on the 10th ball or the 15th ball, whatever they say, because you're being asked for how many balls to catch. A big celebration when that last one's caught, using sound, pictures, animations. Use some sort of broadcast. Be sure that your script has comments, and be sure that you use appropriate names for the variables. The whole thing is worth 20 marks, and there'll be some bonus marks here if you can determine the total time for all 10 balls, along with individual times for each ball. So that's a bit of a challenge for you. Okay, good luck with that.